Recording live from the Northeast Georgia Business RadioX studio, this is Northeast Georgia Business Radio presented by Regions Bank. Start building your financial confidence at Regions Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing member. Welcome back, folks, to another exciting edition of Northeast Georgia Business Radio. I'm your host, Tom Sheldon, and we're coming to you live from the beautiful Empower College and Career Center of Jackson County. I have a guy in the studio. I had not met him before today. We talked on emails for like a month. I don't know, whatever it's been. This dude's cool. I got to just write up full disclosure. You all know me well. Full disclosure, this guy's cool. He is a mortgage loan officer now, but he grew up in the racing world. And those who know me know racing is a religion in my life. Now, I'm not going to hold it against him. He's a big road race kind of guy. You know, he's not the circle track guy like I am, but still, it's cars and it's fast. With me today, I'm building you up over there, man. With me today from Perpetual Financial Group, Keith Converse. Keith, welcome to the Northeast studio.
Appreciate it. Happy to be here as always. And yeah, we did a little bench racing ahead of time, even though I'm same religion, maybe a little bit different denomination, but that's all right.
So you're writing loans now?
Yes.
Mortgage loan officer.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been doing that?
Going on been doing it 5 years. I have to do some math there.
5 years.
5 years.
Well, you're still young.
Yeah.
You know.
There's so much crossover from the racing and event world where I came from, which is odd.
Really? That sounds very odd.
Yeah, you don't think about it, but we're talking high execution. In racing, you have to be on it.
Well, yeah, I guess technically in anything you really want to be successful at.
Right, deadlines, because in the racing world, the race starts when it starts. You're there,
when they say it's going to start.
Closing's the same way.
Yeah.
It's not a date that moves. People need to move on with their lives, whether refinancing, whether they're purchasing, whatever that is.
Okay.
That date's that date. So
that makes sense.
It's the same level of whatever has to happen behind the scenes has to happen.
What made you leave the racing world?
So
other than having a child, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, no, he came a lot later. So
okay.
Left the racing world mainly due to finances.
Sounds like a racer to me.
Exactly. So parlayed that racing into teaching at racing and driving schools.
Really?
Yeah. So
nice. Here in town?
Taught at Atlanta.
Did you really?
Taught at Lime Rock.
Yeah.
A few different tracks.
Connecticut.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
The bumps down the front stretch.
Yeah. We taught performance driving, boat, and racing. So we taught in high horsepower V8 sports cars like Mustangs and cars like that.
Right.
And then on the racing side, we used the purpose-built. They weren't Barber Dodges. They were Skip Barber Formula cars.
The Formula cars, okay.
So they had sequential
gearboxes
transmissions. And
was it called a transmission or
we
gearbox?
call them gearboxes.
I would call them gearbox.
Would you?
I would.
I thought Circle Tracks called them transmissions.
Cup cars don't even have transmissions anymore.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're sequential boxes.
They are sequential.
They finally made it.
I guess.
Over to our
they
side.
Found something more to break. That's all it was.
It'll break.
How can we break these? Great.
Well, they gave you more than 4 gears. You got a
fifth one that they never used, but yeah.
Well, as you should.
I guess.
If you have it, find a way to use it.
Now, hopefully we haven't lost half the audience, but
that's okay.
Who wants to talk about mortgages? Mortgages. Oh, yeah, you do.
No.
We can talk about racing for like 3 hours.
I can talk about cars, racing.
We need
mortgages.
The Keith Converse, wouldn't be an hour, the Keith Converse podcast.
There you go.
All right. Perpetual Financial Group. We got to get serious, I guess.
Absolutely.
Darn it. Perpetual Financial Group.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the website.
Yes.
Are you writing mortgages or are you putting on an 80s concert?
So
Rockstar is everywhere.
Everywhere. So we call ourselves Mortgage Rock Stars.
Okay.
And give you the Rockstar treatment.
Yeah.
The onus of that, or I guess the origin of that, I should say, is the founder of the company who still runs the company.
Cool.
He's the lead guitarist in a heavy metal band.
Darn right he is.
Our office looks as much.
Nice.
There's a painting by the drummer of Def Leppard on the wall. There is a shag carpet somewhere. Not a rug. It's an area rug.
Okay.
We obviously don't take ourselves too seriously.
You must not.
But we also believe in rocking out for our customers and treating them and making them feel like they're the rock star throughout the whole process.
I hear you.
Yeah.
How long has Perpetual been around?
We've been around since to say 2008. I joined in 2019.
I got you. You've been doing it for 5 years. They've been doing it for over 15.
Over 15. Yes, sir.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Def Leppard guy.
Smoke on the Water?
I grew up with all that.
Yeah. I grew up with it being played by my dad, so.
Well, your dad's cool.
He definitely thinks so.
Oh, wow. I hope Dad doesn't hear this. Dad, I thought you were cool.
I'd be rougher on him if he were here. So.
Wow.
He's an awesome dude. So.
You think so?
I tell him if he ever starts getting old, I'll know when the clock starts for me.
Wow.
Yep.
Y'all are rough on each other.
Oh, that's where I learned it.
Okay, I got to ask.
Yes.
This is the unfair question.
That's fair.
I ask it of every financial advisor, every real estate agent, every mortgage person that comes through here. Mm-hmm. How's the market?
Market's wild.
Wild.
It's wild.
That is a word I have not heard yet. That was a good one.
It's
wild. In a good way or bad?
It depends on a lot of factors.
Depends on the day.
Day and who you are, what you're looking for.
Okay,
So if you watch TV, it's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
If you talk to someone whose life depends on the market, it's great.
It's the greatest market ever.
However, it's wild. I'm going to give you a quick example.
Please do.
We'll talk 3 scenarios have worked. One's about to close, one just closed, et cetera. So I have a person shopping in the 500 to 650 range. Mm-hmm. He's one of 20 offers on about 5 different houses in the metro area. So huge competition. We're back to bidding war. I mean, it's crazy.
Are you seeing bidding wars?
On that price point.
Really?
Yes.
I had no idea. But now, $500,000 house, that's what? 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath?
Yeah, it depends on.
Carport?
It depends, right? If you're downtown, I don't know if you're about that much. He's looking Woodstock area, kind of this northern band.
There's not a whole lot of difference between just outside of metro Atlanta and all the way to South Carolina, North Carolina.
Just a little bit of distance between your neighbor. That's about it.
That's it. There's not a lot of, I'm going to go 30 miles north. And you're going to pay the same amount of money.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
And now I have another customer in the Gwinnett area that was looking at a house in just above $1 million.
Okay.
And they actually bid and got the house for under asking price.
Nice.
So clearly there's not as much competition there.
Right.
And then I have another customer just closed on a home right around $200,000. That house had been on the market almost 100 days. The seller couldn't sell it, and it wasn't because of the house.
I'm going to say what was wrong.
It was most of the buyers shopping at that range or just maybe put it on pause, maybe needing to look for more.
Couldn't pull the trigger
for whatever reason. So she actually almost foreclosed on the house.
Oh, my goodness. Over a $200,000 house.
On a $200,000 house. So when I say wild, there's just so many different factors are going into it.
It sounds a little unpredictable, though.
It is. I think that's why working with a professional, whether it's a mortgage loan officer, whether it's a real estate agent, whether it's the right closing attorney, having that professional that knows what they're doing is really going to come in handy. Mm-hmm. So you're not overbidding or you're not losing, depending on what you're looking for.
Which side you're on. Is there a sweet spot? 350 to 100 to 500, 5 to 6? I guess you just said 5 to 650. Is that the sweet spot?
It's looking like it. That could change next week. That could change this weekend.
Of course.
It's very anecdotal at this point.
Yeah.
And it also depends on where you're looking.
Well, that's true.
Because we lend throughout the Southeast.
Yeah.
So that sweet spot for North Georgia, north of Metro, could be very different than, say, in Tennessee, where we lend as well, because Tennessee is very different. You've got the big cities.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Nashville with its crazy costs and exploding area. And then you have the more rural areas.
And then you have true dirt roads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's different there.
Yeah.
So.
9 day.
Yes.
Wow. All right, rock star. We're going to take a real quick break.
Let's do it.
And then we're going to get back down to serious business. I promise. One of our great community partners is True Vista Communications. True Vista provides a full spectrum of services, all your communication and entertainment needs, including internet, video, voice including wireless, and security and home automation. Their dedicated professionals are always on hand to help you with setup, installation, and ongoing customer service to ensure your family has everything they need to succeed. With True Vista Internet, you can enjoy reliable, high speeds, and premium Wi-Fi with 100% whole home coverage. With better performance and better reliability, True Vista Internet helps you stay in touch with your loved ones. Visit TrueVista.net today for area availability. And while you're at it, visit our new website, negabrx.com, to see all our great community partners. Keith, you still there?
Absolutely.
You didn't run off on me?
No, it didn't get far.
Didn't get far? Your racing days are behind you, man. You just don't move fast anymore. It's okay. It's okay. What were we talking about? We were talking about racing.
Yep, talking about racing.
We're both big-time car guys. Mm-hmm. We were talking about tires, actually, during the break. That was a whole different podcast we could do on tires alone.
Absolutely.
You're loaning money so people can buy homes.
Absolutely.
The boss man you work for is a big-time rocker.
Yep.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I love that. Is there a sweet spot for you? I'm sure you work with almost anyone, right? I hate the word anyone because, yeah.
Of course I would.
What's your sweet spot, though?
I'd say I have two sweet spots. Let's talk about the first one. That's the first-time home buyer.
First-time home buyer.
There's a lot.
You like those?
I do.
Okay.
I've been one before.
Well, yeah,
so I know what it looks like from, I would say, almost every side.
Yeah.
In that stress, that not knowing the process. And so I love working with first-time home buyers because we get to explain it. I hear this could be a dumb question a lot. Mm-hmm. And I always point out, if you don't know the answer, it's probably not a dumb question.
It's not a dumb question.
No. So
that's right.
I always tell people, call me, text me. If it's in the middle of the night, text me, and I'm not going to answer you then.
Right.
But I don't want anybody forgetting it.
Right, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. We're big on customer service, making sure they know the best information. So when it's time to pull the trigger, whether that's we're getting pre-approved, we're under contract, we're about to close, wherever they are in that process, we want them to be able to sleep in the home they're going to buy, because that's important.
Very important.
And we want them to feel like they've had the most information so they're making the best decision for them and their family.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
There must be an element there you like teaching.
Probably. I'm sure that comes out.
You were an instructor.
Exactly.
Driving cars.
Exactly. And I loved instructing. So I'm sure that comes into it as well.
Wow.
And we like seeing people, I don't know, achieve their goal. I mean, buying a home, especially for the first time.
Yeah.
Huge goal. I mean, you told me you worked a second job for years.
When I was 20 years old.
Yeah, just so you could buy a home.
To get out of an apartment.
Exactly. So
I hated every second of it.
I've had the same experience in apartments as well. Mm-hmm. Hated every second.
Yeah.
So I think that's why that's close to our heart. And there are programs out there. You're going to hear a lot of things that sound like free money, in that they'll say, oh, it's a first-time home buyer, so I should be getting, there's down payment assistance, or there's items like that. And those do exist, but there's not as much a free lunch as it initially wants to be pitched.
Of course.
Come in different flavors. There are a few grants out there, and we do explore those for different home buyers.
Right.
We also have some down payment assistance that it allows you to borrow the down payment, or down payment and a little bit of closing costs to help people get over that little bit of hump where maybe saving it has just not.
They just can't quite get there.
Correct.
The system is against them. I shouldn't
for
say
lack
that.
of a better term.
I shouldn't say that, but it is true.
We can go on a different podcast and talk about the system.
We got to get a different podcast, or we got to get a podcast going.
Yeah, exactly.
Keith Converse experience.
Well, I don't know about that. That sounds about a little too close to somebody else's experience.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
They'll sue you. You're Keith Converse, not me.
Exactly.
Hey, I just hit the button. I record it.
I'm one of 5 of them, so it's okay. They can always pass it off to the other Keith Converse. It's fine.
Is there other Keith Converses?
Well, I'm the 4th.
Oh, okay.
So there's my father's the 3rd. My little boy is the 5th.
Oh, wow. There's 5 of you
There's
now.
5. Yeah.
So y'all just couldn't come up with a name? Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. That was definitely my father's excuse. I'm going to blame this one on my wife. So
Be careful what you blame on the boss now.
Well, that's true.
I'm married as well, sir.
She's
I have to go to sleep eventually.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm married to a redheaded accountant. Oh, yeah. I value my skin.
Yeah. Mind your P's and Q's there.
I have to.
Yeah.
She's tough.
Yeah.
She's tough.
My wife is witty. She's probably wittier than I am. I have to watch myself. I get checked quite a bit.
I bet you do.
Yeah, that's all right.
She holds you accountable.
Yep.
I love it.
I've earned every bit of it. So the second sweet spot, though.
Yeah, sweet spot. Sorry.
No, you're good. So would be self-employed borrowers. So
Ooh, that can be rough. I've been self-employed my whole life.
So how's your experience been if you were trying to use self-employed income?
I've done it a few times. Mm-hmm. I always found cash was king.
Yep.
And even, believe it or not, even though I had cash, I was actually turned down by the same, it was a bank. The house I sold, the first house I ever bought, I sold it, obviously, and then built my house up here in Jackson County back in the late 90s. The bank I had a mortgage with on that house, that first house, would not give me a construction loan. And I'm thinking, you've known me for all these years, and things have only gotten better.
Right.
They haven't gotten worse.
No.
And that was devastating to me. I mean, who in the blank, blank, blank do you think you are? I've been paying you for years on this house over here, and they would not give me a construction loan.
So
it was horrible.
We're seeing that. I'm hearing that. I'm still seeing.
Now, this was 25 years ago plus, but still.
It's still happening.
I was a 24-year-old, I guess.
Yeah.
It was devastating.
And that experience hasn't gone away. I'm still seeing small business owners on Twitter talk about, I can't buy a house because I own a business, and so I can't see.
Yeah.
They can't see the income the way they want to see it. So
right.
We specialize in self-employed borrowers,
Nice.
whether that's qualifying you the old-fashioned way with tax returns. We can help you look at the tax return you're about to file, tell you, hey, is this going to push us where we need to be? Are we still going to be too far out? If we're on the edge, what do we need to maybe not write off so we're showing just enough but not too much, because we never want to pay more taxes than we have to.
Right.
So we can do that. We also can utilize cash flow of your business to qualify your income. I've been able to help a borrower a borrower, I should say. If I use his tax returns, he's going to only qualify for maybe a $150,000 house.
Yeah.
Using his tax returns, we did a $2 million house with a 10% down.
His cash flow.
Cash flow.
Just
cash flow of the business.
At the end of the day, your cash flow is almost everything.
Exactly right. Now,
no cash flow, you have no business.
Correct.
You have no cash flow, you have no business. You can't pay anything.
No.
You can't pay for lunch, let alone $1 million house.
That's exactly.
Not everyone understands that unless they've been in that boat.
Right. And I grew up in a small business.
You've been in that boat.
I have. I kicked my dad out of his first production facility when I was born because it was my nursery.
Lovely.
Yeah, he reminds me of that still.
Wow. Y'all rough on each other.
Yeah, that's okay.
We need to get Dad in here.
There's not enough airtime for that.
Oh, we don't have to record it all. I just want to hang out with him.
When he's here, we'll have to get you guys together.
That'd be good.
Grew up in a small business, so we look at it from the angle of a business owner because we understand y'all's challenges. We understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you don't have cash flow, well, we've got bigger issues here than
you don't need to be buying a house. Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously we have to pre-approve you. There's a whole process there, but we're able to utilize that cash flow. We also can utilize assets. I had a borrower who has sold a business, wanted to buy a house before he bought another one, or another business, I should say.
Right.
So we're able to use his cash to qualify his income as well.
I got you.
So kind of like you said, cash is king in there. We can utilize that to qualify as well, just in case you're wanting to use more leverage, because as a business owner, more money in your pocket, you can go make more with it.
Well, that's the idea.
Your business.
That's the idea.
Yeah. So that's why we love working with self-employed borrowers.
Okay.
We're able to kind of fill that gap.
Right.
And I don't think we touched on this. We're obviously not a traditional bank.
You're definitely not traditional.
No. So we're an independent lender. So we get the control of a lender, and we work with probably 35, 40 different wholesalers and investors. So we have the choice of a broker, but a lot more control over the process.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I believe the website says you're not a stuffy bank.
We are not.
Quote.
This is about
you're
as
not a
dressed
stuffy, but we're not a stuffy bank.
And this is about as dressed up as you'll see me.
Really?
Oh yeah. No, the owner
It's
of
a
our
podcast.
office, he walks around in black Vans and a V-neck, and
As he should.
And the mohawk may or may not be up.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't coming up all the time.
Not all the time.
That takes work.
It's a lot of product.
Yeah, it takes work.
That's what he says. I don't know.
I'm sure it
We'll
does.
see.
We need to get Boss Man in here.
Oh, he's something else.
This would be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, those are our kind of hot spots that we love working with.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, Keith, before we get out of here, I got to
Absolutely.
ask, man, why should I buy a home today? Interest rates are like, 84% or something?
Roughly.
Yeah, something. The economy is horrible. I hear that all the time, depending on what channel you put on.
Yep.
If you're not invested in NVIDIA, you've lost everything. Sorry.
Or Bitcoin.
Well, that too. I don't understand even what that is, so I don't even. It doesn't even enter my mind.
That's fair.
Why should I buy a home today?
So that's a good question. And the answer is probably long-winded, so we're going to keep it as short as possible, even though we have the time. The market is wild, as we talked about. And if you're sick of renting or you're looking to move up, maybe we need to get more space, we're looking to expand the family, et cetera, we can help you see, does it make sense for you to buy? Because we see rates going up, we see values continuing to go up, and with the lack of inventory, we see prices being supported. So we don't foresee values dropping. And actually, I think in the last 80 years of recessions, home values dropped twice.
Yeah.
It was in 1980, they dropped 0.1%, 0.2%, something, maybe 1%, very little. And then obviously in 2008, they dropped quite a bit.
Well, that was a manufactured implosion.
It was a home crash creating a recession.
Yeah.
So typically recessions do not cause property value drops.
Right.
So you're going to hear a lot of people say, well, you can buy now, you can marry the house, date the rate.
You got it out before I did.
And I hate that because that's assuming everything's going to get better. It probably will. Statistically, it should. My crystal ball is pretty cloudy lately.
Really?
And so we never want to encourage anybody to buy more house than they can afford.
In any situation.
Correct, whether the economy is, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we want to help you see, does it make sense with where you're at now? Because if we wait just because we're worried, home prices are probably going to be 1.5%, 2% higher next year, typically.
Typically, yeah.
So it's a good time to buy if it's a good time for you to buy right now. And to turn that around.
Wow, so you're an attorney now.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask an attorney a question, and they'll say, it depends.
That's mortgage. It depends.
It depends.
Depends on situation, depends on where you're at in life and what you're trying to accomplish.
It depends.
Exactly.
Well, sweet, man.
Yes, sir.
We got a website?
We do. So you can find us at theperpetual.com. And if you want to find just me, you go to theperpetual.com/Keith-Converse.
Are you wearing eyeliner in that picture?
I don't think so.
Okay. I thought you were.
It could have been a lot of, work in post.
Okay.
They
put a filter on you.
I think I turned that one down.
They put a cool
actually.
80s rock filter on you.
There's
nothing wrong with that.
There's a rock star photographer for that. He has a claim to fame that I can't remember. And they did bring in a makeup artist, and I remember turning down almost everything they
Wow.
did. Yeah.
You didn't grow up in the 80s.
No. I'd
be like double, triple. We're good.
I was born in the 80s, if that helps.
Well, yeah, you didn't, right? Your formative years, Keith.
Oh, we're definitely not.
I'm a Reagan kid.
Yeah.
So there you go.
No. That's awesome.
Social media?
Social media is Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook.com/Keith Converse LO.
Well, Keith, thanks for coming in, man.
No, thank you for having me, Tom.
They're gonna play my music. Hopefully, we got everything in about the mortgages.
I think so.
Well, we tried.
I'm not one to talk about business all the time.
That's good. You come to the right place. Yeah. Folks, check Keith out. Theperpetual.com and /Keith-Converse. I'm Tom Sheldon. We'll talk to you soon.
Savings goals keeping you up at night? Let a Regions banker help you build a Regions Greenprint plan, a free financial roadmap personalized for what matters to you. Start building your financial confidence. Visit Regions.com to find a branch near you. Regions Bank, member FDIC.